Here we go, Nesson Nation. It's a show where we react to what y'all are talking about in your group chat. That's right, Boston has entered the chat. We in here this Monday, June 9th. Travis, Thomas, George Balekji. So good to see you, my friend. And you know I couldn't wait to start the show to just say, no, Yankees lose. Red Sox take the series. 11-7 win last night in the Bronx, kid.
Hey, man, 2 in a row. Starting pitching goes at least 5 innings pitched back-to-back games. But that's 2 games in a row, winning a series in the Bronx.
Yes.
Now, we've seen this before. They won the series in Atlanta, almost got swept by the Angels back home. But
Facts.
Beating the Yankees for how good that team is, how the bats have woken up the last 4 games as well. Keeping it simple, at the same time hitting long ball, like we saw 5 home runs on Sunday. If this team can piece it together, keep it consistent, that's what's huge for the Red Sox.
Yeah. Remember, you can catch a full hour of us on Nesson Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. right here on Nesson Nation, 9 a.m. daily. Boston has entered the chat's interactive. Email us, thechat@nesson.com. Tweet at us using the hashtag NessonChat. Call us, 617-790-0928. We always want to hear from you. We always air and show and listen to the voicemails, so get in here, get involved. Let's start with what's trending in sports, and we start right there. Sox having a great showing, taking the series against the Yankees, 11-7, the win last night. Here's another note from last night. Rafi becomes the second fastest Red Sox player to get 30 home runs against the Yankees. That's a big deal. That's a Yankee killer right there, George. You love to see it. Look at the tweets rolling in. Brandon Kelly here saying, call him the landlord, the way he owns all of New York. You love to see that. I like that nickname too, George, the landlord.
And then here you see from Jason Frack, Devers heard they were serving clam chowder in the Bronx tonight. Guess he wanted seconds and thirds and fourths. Yankee fans might need a safe space. I mean, it's Rafael Devers, 30 career home runs, 113 games,
Sure.
like always been a Yankee killer. I also just think of how dominant he is against Garrett Cole. We've seen Garrett Cole purposely walk
Facts.
Devers as well.
Yeah.
So it's the Yankees as a whole. It's matching up with their ace, who obviously isn't pitching this season.
I almost forgot about Garrett Cole.
Playoffs, regular season, wild card, games in June. He steps up every time this rivalry rolls around. That's part of what makes Rafael Devers in that bat so special for the Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people talking about him hustling and all that. Do you see what he's doing at the plate against these Yankees? I'm not complaining. Look, there's stuff I do complain about in general about Rafi. With him against the Yankees ain't one of them. Let him do him. He's doing just fine, thank you. History says that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You want to see him hustle the first, though. But the way that he came out of the box and lifted up, Alex Cora checking on him, you saying he was okay. But then I think, you know, our guy Will Middlebrooks, who's appeared here on the chat in the past, you always catch him on Nesson, but he was on the call for EEI, and he pointed out, he was like, hey, like 4 or 5 teammates went to the dugout to check on him. That says to me, like, Rafi's like, I'm good. How many times has he played through injuries that we don't know about till after the season? That to check on him like that, there might be something there. I don't know. But you see how he was hard out of the box, pulled up midway through. He's played through injuries. When multiple teammates go, you good? You good? That shows it wasn't something he's walking from fine. He's like, I'm good. Like, there might be something there.
Bro, I should have listened to the WEEI broadcast because I love the games here on Nesson, but it was a national game.
On ESPN.
And I wish I had just had the visuals and muted it and listened to WEEI because these national bleeping, this is a family program, broadcasters, no matter what, Red Sox winning the game, Devers balling out of control, yet they just keep talking about Aaron Judge the whole game. I'm like, Aaron Judge is great. He hit a moon rocket early. My son was even hyped, like, oh my God, Aaron Judge. I'm like, hey, relax, you're a Sox fan.
Good for baseball.
But my God, can we talk about the game and not just one player, please, the whole time? Off my soapbox. Thanks for listening. How about this? Let's pivot to the NBA Finals. Game 2. Thunder win that, 123-107 over the Pacers. This is what we thought this series would look like. Of course, the Pacers steal Game 1. SGA's breaking records out here. Fastest player to score this many points in his first 2 finals games. Passing AI. The Thunder had it going on, George.
Yeah, and it was SGA doing this on just 21 shots. We saw him get above 30 in Game 1. Felt like he was pressing in a way.
Like rushing
Assists
it.
were down, and I mean,
forcing it.
Now he had 38 points. And the Thunder were in control and that blew that game at the end. But you felt them being a little hesitant. You know, like the moment got big for them in a way. They were guarding it. This time around, it was the depth of the Thunder we saw show up. I mean, 8 guys playing 20 or more minutes, but like a Kenrick Williams off the bench playing, you're like, do you want to go with that plus minus and plus 15?
Sure.
But for SGA, it was his assist, sharing the ball. How decisive this Thunder team is when they move the ball. That's what makes them special. When they seem like they're on their guard, it makes it easier to turn the ball over, force turnovers, get them out full court, and challenge his defense. But it is when those guys are bought in, and when they all play off of SGA, who's the most special player in these finals, we saw that. And like you said, I mean, fastest player to 70 points in the NBA Finals in his career, beating AI, who's a bucket. The difference with this Thunder team than to AI and those Sixers, AI was everything.
Yeah.
You know?
They didn't have
I know he was the answer.
Yeah.
But he was everything.
He was.
SGA, now he's the leader. He's their best player, but they have so much depth on this Thunder team. You see the ratings on these finals, by the way?
Okay.
I got to ask you.
ISO Cam, Greg. Please, ISO Cam.
No.
I would like to apologize to George. He was right. The ratings are good.
Yeah.
The casual fan does know who SGA is. I feel like I'm on Maury reading, and the results are in. Travis, you were wrong. Meanwhile, you're over there like, yeah. Fine, you were right. The average fan, the casual fan knows who SGA is. Everyone is interested in this stupid Indiana against Oklahoma City, which I didn't think anyone cared. People are in. You were right. I am not worthy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was great. The worst of that, though, is you saying people don't know who SGA is. I'm like,
I said casuals.
MVP.
Casuals.
And casuals know who the MVP is.
Well, they know now.
Yep.
The way he's hooping. By the way, Halliburton, 17 points.
He had 12 in the fourth quarter.
I know, but it's not enough.
No, he was bad.
From beyond the arc, 5 turnovers. It's not going to get it done.
Thunder team was challenging him the second he passed midcourt, made his life difficult, literally had him playing on his heels the whole time.
They deserve credit.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
And they have the guys that can do that. It's not just deep offensively.
Facts.
Caruso was great, had 20 points. His defense was outstanding.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do to beat a Tyrese Halliburton.
To the NFL now, Nick Chubb signs a 1-year deal with the Houston Texans. So, listen, I know you say, well, Nick Chubb, he's coming off an injury. He may be washed. Who cares about the Texans? I bring this up because I thought the Patriots should have kicked the tires. Give Nick Chubb a call. Hey, we're running the ball by committee, allegedly, around here. Travion Ramondre, come join us. Nick Chubb, at this stage of his career, George, couldn't I argue? Short yardage, a goal line. I think he could help the Patriots if you are indeed running back by committee. Instead, the Texans get him, pair him with a Joe Mixon. Boy, that's one hell of a 1-2 combo right there.
I mean, it's great. And we also saw the Texans go out and draft a Woody Marks as well, who's a good pass-catching back and could be a spell back for Joe Mixon. This is Thunder. And Woody Marks, as a rookie running back, can be that lightning out of the backfield. I mean, this is smart for Chubb, and apparently, reportedly, he passed on higher paydays to go with the Texans. This is a team that is getting into the postseason regularly. This is a team that took a step back from year one, where we saw how special C.J. Stroud was, but bringing in a new offensive coordinator, revamping that entire offense with young receivers, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, to play with the Nico Collins, and C.J. Stroud stepping into year 3. Credit to Nick Caserio, that front office. Credit to D'Amico Ryans and that coaching staff. Win now, win now, win now. You bring in a Nick Chubb, I mean, that's good leadership to get in there. That's also a reflection on them trying to maximize a cost-control contract, which is what C.J. Stroud is under.
Well, remember, too, they have a ton of injuries with their wide receivers. It's one of the reasons I actually, ironically, thought Stephon Diggs should have gone back to Houston. Get healthy and continue to help that team sort of, what you're saying, get over the hump because they're closer to winning than the Patriots. Of course, we know the rest of the story. Stephon Diggs took the bag, which you can't blame him, and then he partied on the Love Boat. That's another topic for another Boston has entered the chat. But, I mean, credit to Nick Chubb at this stage of his career for chasing winning. Because right in his own franchise with the Browns, I've talked to you about this before, Myles Garrett just, complained and whined about wanting to win. And he's been there too long, and he needs to go somewhere and win. And then Cleveland gave him all the money in the world, and all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I love being a Brown. What happened to winning, bruh? Good for Nick Chubb, who's just as much as that franchise as a Myles Garrett. He's given just as much. But now we know coming off the injury, we'll see what happens with him. But he's like, no, I'm going to take less money from Cleveland and other places and go somewhere where I actually have a chance to win. Good for him.
And that's a guy that's forever beloved in Cleveland as well. One of the icons of that franchise all time. Make the right move, could get the bag, which I wouldn't have blamed him for.
Yeah.
Go to a winning situation, really important for him.
All right, more football. Patriots minicamp begins this week.
Yep.
Are you excited for minicamp? I can't lie. Training camp is the one that gets my gears going, okay? But minicamp, football is football. What do you want to see this week? I know Vrabel's talking today, so we'll have that hopefully tomorrow here on Boston Has Entered the Chat.
Yeah.
What are you sort of looking for from minicamp from the Patriots?
I want to see Christian Barmore. I mean,
Okay.
he's been a full participant, but he'll really return these next 3 spring practices.
All right.
And I think it also is, how does this wide receiver depth chart fall together? I think this is when you start getting glimpses on what the actual, who's actually leading it and getting reps with the ones.
Okay.
And I know Kyle Williams, he has to. You take him in that pick, he is this coaching staff's guy. He's their first wide receiver they drafted. He's going to get reps with the ones. Stephon Diggs, how bought in is he? He has to get reps with the ones.
Boy.
But is it going to be a Pop Douglas? Is it a Kendrick Bourne? Is it an Efton Chisholm as well? Who are those guys that will step up and be that weapon for Drake May in this offense? That's what I look for. And then also the offensive line.
Yes.
Will Campbell, left tackle. We know who it's going to be at right guard and right tackle. Morgan Moses, Mike Onwenu. Is Jared Wilson stealing snaps from Graham Bradbury at center? Is it Cole Strange? Or is it Tyrese Robinson at left guard? Who's taking reps there? How does the starting offensive line look? And what does the depth of the wide receiver look like?
Couldn't agree more with all of those. I would only probably piggyback and add Drake May year 2. Now, you're not going to see a lot in minicamp, okay? Don't get me wrong here. But think of his first minicamp, rookie minicamp. He's in, he's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, just trying to figure it out. Where do I go in the building?
Yeah.
Where's the restrooms around here, right?
Yeah.
Now he's a backup, good point. Now he's in, and it's his franchise. Here's the keys, bro. This is your car. So I want to see that. I want to see that growth. I want to see that command. Like, hey, I'm the man now. That's where the bathrooms are, kid. Like, he knows. He's directing people. I kind of want to see that from Drake May. And again, it's a mini camp. I'm not going to put too much into this. I don't even know if these players wear pads at this point in mini camp. It's changed. So, George, when I first started covering football, mini camp was almost like a poor man's version of training camp, but they were out there hitting at least. They were doing stuff. Nowadays, I don't know what these are. Are they in shorts and tank tops? I have no idea anymore. But I do want to see Drake May have some command.
I mean, they just got out of passing camp pretty much. That's what it was with voluntary OTAs.
Yeah.
But yeah, step into minicamp, whether it's pads or not, whether it's shorts or not. This is when stuff gets more serious. And this is the mandatory stuff.
That's right.
How does Stephon Diggs show up? Carlton Davis was with the team Thursday. First time we saw him through any of the voluntary workouts. Okay. That's something as well. We'll see Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis lining up next to each other.
Sure.
He had a quieter absence, but also that's a guy that was smarter being off the field. Wasn't partying in Miami. And if he was partying anywhere, we didn't see videos. Again,
no, I saw videos this weekend. He was
Carlton
in Maryland.
Davis?
Oh, no. I thought you were talking about Diggs.
Davis.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I saw the video of Stephon Diggs,
Stephon, he wasn't
passing
partying.
Camp
yeah, he was with Cardi. He was with Cardi, though. Hey, that's his girl. What are we going to do?
No,
just no more love boats.
Keep it to that.
Are we asking too much?
No.
I don't think so.
Be smart. That's all I'm asking. No
That's
videos
what I'm saying.
of partying.
Yes.
Videos of passing camp, fine with me.
You can party. Just take the phones from people, bruh.
I remember Chad Ochocinco said it terrifically. He goes, why do we buy these mansions and party in the clubs? He goes,
He's
I'm
not
having
wrong.
parties in my crib. And he hit everything from the public eye.
Bro, I don't even have a mansion, and I love being at home.
Enjoy the mortgage.
It's the best, bro. Hey, when we come back here on Boston Has Entered the Chat, we're going to talk about the Sox slapping the Yankees in the face in the Bronx. Feels good to just say that, man. All that and more coming up here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Remember this, get the latest up-to-date live. We've got Boston sports headlines along with your daily dose of trending sports and social topics every weekday on Boston Has Entered the Chat. You can catch us live at 8 a.m. on Nesson and 9 a.m. on Nesson Nation. That's every Monday through Friday. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Boston Has Entered the Chat. It feels so good to say the Red Sox took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees in the Bronx.
Yep.
Yes. Never gets old, my friend. I believe the season is turned around. It's official. I'm there. In fact, we always say we want to hear from you. We always say email us, chat@nesson.com. We always say tweet at us using the hashtag NessonChat. We always say we have infiltrated your group chat. We always say call us 617-790-0928. And It's like throwing up the bat signal. Jimmy in the car answers every single time. I feel exactly like him. Take a listen.
Oh, beautiful Monday morning, boys. Huh? What a weekend. And the Sox are back, baby. The Sox are back. Story's back. Campbell back. Devers never left. Looks like me when I'm hitting bombs in the Parkway Softball League, baby. They're a squad. We just need a couple pitches. We need to make a couple good decisions on the field, maybe a little bit of defense. But I'm telling you, brother, this is a team now. Now we're talking. This could be 2013 all over again. I'm telling you. Pay attention. Get the duck boats ready. Sox are back, baby.
Jimmy in the car, you're driving in the fast lane to my heart. George, I tried to tell you they were going to go to the Bronx.
Yep.
They were going to win this series. I was on radio yesterday on WEEI saying the same thing before the game. Callers called me and told me, you're too optimistic, bro. Season's over, bro. I'm like, it's June 9th. What are we talking about?
Yep.
Well, it was June 8th yesterday. But you get my point. This team, I believe, because it's the Yankees, because you went to the Bronx, because you handled your business, you're playing well. The confidence is there. Alex Cora told you before they went on the damn trip. The walk-off, Pesky's pole here at Fenway against the Angels. He said, we got to go to the Bronx. We got to win that series. That can turn things around for us. And I remember us talking and being like, damn, that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. It did. They win the series. Here they come. Back at Fenway, have to play better at home. They haven't been great at home.
Yep.
I think against the Rays, they take 2 out of 3 again, and then the Yankees come here. They're taking 2 out of 3 from them, too. Let's go. Season's turn around, George.
I'm not saying the playoffs are out of the picture because they still can get into that wild card. And this is a team that has a lot of potential in that lineup. But we saw them take 2 out of 3 on the road and Atlanta, who's a really good team. Struggling, but a really good team.
Fair.
And then they drop everything against the Angels and barely escape a sweep, if not for Pesky Pull and Ceddanne Rafaela. They took 2 in a row against the Yankees. That's a huge upgrade. That's what you want to see from that team. Like, that is pivotal. I'm not denying any of that. But this is a team, when we think they're back, they let them down. And this is a team that's been struggling to play good, consistent baseball as well. Now, Garrett Crochet goes 6 innings pitched, shoves. Hunter Dobbins goes 5 innings pitched, does all right, gets the win. Can the starting pitching go the distance? Because we saw Walker Buehler on Friday night not make it out of 2 innings. You have to help out the bullpen. The defense still has to be clean. We see Ceddanne Rafaela making the same mistake, shooting home and skipping over the cutoff. We see Christian Campbell misreading a ball coming his way at second base, but his bat shows up. The bats have been great since that series finale win, that walk-off win against the Angels. They've been great. 11 runs, 6 runs, 10 runs, 11 runs scored. Batting average is up. OPS is up.
Yeah.
RBIs are leading MLB. Like, that's fantastic.
All facts.
But that's just a 4-game sample size. And that's them hitting at the top. If they could be good and consistently be good, then I'm in. So I love it. I think it's great. You take 2 in a row against the Yankees. You take 2 or 3 against a good team. And by all means, Sunday, how it started with Judge going yard in the first inning, you're thinking, all right, here we go. See how Dobbins responds. And he does. Yeah,
he hit a moonshot, dog.
But this is a team that, before I go, all right, now take 2 or 3 against Tampa, I'm going to bring the same energy.
Sure.
Get 1 against Tampa.
I get it.
Then get the second game. Let's see what happens with the third. Same with the Yankees. Same with the Mariners, the Giants, the Angels after that. Like, that's how it has to be with this team. Because end of the day, awesome, they took 2 or 3 and won 2 straight against the Yankees. They're still 32 and 35.
Yeah.
And I'm not popping bottles because you took 2 or 3 against anybody.
Right.
Pop bottles because you win a playoff series. And what it looks like for the Red Sox, the best you can hope is a wild card series.
I think that's fair. Listen, what I like about this team, though, is there is no quit in them at all. And I like that. I mean, this team will scratch and claw, kick, bite, whatever it takes. Ask the Angels coaches. Too soon. But, I mean, my point is they don't quit. They have squabbles. So I like that this team, even in these one-run losses that we talk about, where, yeah, the errors kill you and you lose these games, they're in all these games. They're making these mistakes, and they're still in these games. Yeah. What I see in the Bronx, with the exception of Friday night, I almost wish we could go back into time and change Friday night because they were down 7-0 before you could blink, George. Yeah. But to my point, they battled back in that game. Yeah. They damn near won that game. So if they can just somehow stop these like lapses, all their games feels the same to me. It's like you get down early, so the rest of the game you're clawing your way back. Your starters aren't giving you enough, so now you're in the bullpen, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and then they still battle back. They tie it or take the lead. Then there's an error or 10, and you lose the game, right? In heartbreaking fashion. It's like Groundhog's Day. We always say that on this show. So what I saw in the Bronx was a change of that. Now, Friday looked like an extension of what we had been seeing, but Saturday, it was story time. 5 RBI, like, okay, Mr. Bat.
Has a home run on Sunday.
Come on,
went
Trevor
5 for 9 the last 2 games.
Wake up, my friend. Let's go. Devers is being Devers. I mean, Jimmy in the car was right with that call. It felt in the Bronx. It felt like everything's starting to come together. That's why I'm looking at these next 6 games. I know we have to lock in on the Rays for 3, and I'm fine with that. But the Yankees are right after them.
Yeah.
This is divisional stuff. This is AL stuff. So while we talk about wild cards, this is where you can make your hay at in this stretch right here. And going back to this, you got to play better at Fenway. This team has not been good at Fenway. It'd be one thing if they won at home and then they were going on the road and making a lot of these mistakes. We could almost pinpoint it a little better and say, okay, on the road, you got to do a better job of dotting the I's, crossing the T's, right? But they don't win at home either. So they have to figure that out. The only way you're going to make a playoff push, you must be better at Fenway.
Yeah, and this is a team that, again, when we see the errors, on the road, at home, doesn't matter where they're playing. It could be a Walgreens parking lot.
Yeah.
It's been the same mistakes for them
It has.
all over. And this is also a team that, give credit to them on Sunday. Carlos Rodon looked like he was his normal dominant self, 2 ERA. Then they get to the 4th, 5th inning and just absolutely start shelling him. Christian Campbell, Carlos Narvaez, Trevor Story, Abraham Toro, Rafael Devers, home runs. So that we see them winning without home runs and a lot of extra base hits one game. We see them winning with the long ball the next, but also sustain it. And as you go back to Saturday, too, the late response by the bats as well. Even think of Friday, like Alex Cora in a loss.
Yeah.
Bases loaded, Marcelo Meyer due up. You're all watching on the edge of your seat. Let's see what the kid does.
Yep.
No, pinch hits, put in Abraham Toro, and it pays off and scores a run. And there's what are you doing? Why are you not putting Marcelo Meyer in? Our guy Lou Merlone tweeted it. Yeah, I hate it when my manager tries to win games. And that's what Alex Cora was doing late in the game, working the lineup, bringing on pinch runners as well, making it happen. Whether it's Friday and a 3-run loss, or whether it's Saturday, Sunday responding in wins, if this is a team that can tie it all together and lock in, that's what you need from the Red Sox. Again, why I do not give up on this wild card picture for them is because we know the potential in the lineup.
Yeah.
We know the talent in the lineup. And that's where the frustration for this team comes too, because you know how good they can be.
Yes.
And they're not putting it all together.
Yes.
So you celebrate, and I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Do it 100%. Keep that energy all the way until they get to a wild card spot.
Sure.
For me, I reserve myself to sit back and go, I need to see more, but that's because of expectation.
I think that's fair, and I don't think you're some sort of Debbie Downer or hater on the situation. The reason why I'm hyped, the reason why I'm putting so much stock into it is because of who it came against and where.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees were playing well. You go to the Bronx and you take that series, that means something. And I do believe it could carry over. By the way, I'm just looking at the pitchers here as we look ahead to the Rays now for the next 3. Bayo, Giolito, Buehler. Okay, so Bayo, can you sustain? Looked better in his last outing, went deeper. Let's build off of that, okay? Giolito and Buehler both not so hot, but both have said publicly, I got to be better. I got to pitch better. Okay. We're withdrawing from the bank. Let's get some deposits here.
Yeah.
I think those two will pitch better. I don't think, it's out of the realm of possibility here to take 2 out of 3 from the Rays, George.
Bayo's coming off his first start going more than 5 innings in literally since the month of May. Lucas Giolito, Walker Buehler didn't make it past 2 innings pitched each, like getting shelled last time we saw them.
But they both owned it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's owning it, but then there's applying it, right?
Yes.
And like Buehler is coming off an injury, reclamation project in a way, making $21 million, making a lot of money. There comes a part where he has to go out and be Walker Buehler. And he doesn't have to be an ace. He just has to be a guy. He doesn't even have to be a number 2. Can you get 150 innings pitched out of him?
That's right.
You need guys to eat innings at this point, and you need guys to help out the bullpen.
Yes.
That's what I want from Giolito and Buehler. They have the ace in Crochet. They have the closer in Chapman. They have some good bullpen arms. But can they have depth in their rotation? So, yeah, this is a big prove-it series, not just for the team to sustain it, but also for the rotation as well. because there will be no Crochet. There's no stopper over these next 3 games. Now, he'll get that game 1 start as he's slotted to against the Yankees when they come to Fenway. Okay, what does he do there? But again, this is a team with everything they're doing. And that's where it goes. The runs, the bats wake up, the runs are coming in.
Yeah.
The starting pitching has to be there, and it has to be more than a Garrett Crochet.
Well, yeah, we talked about that all years. The bats will be cold, but the pitching will be well. The pitching will do well, and then it's vice versa. Now the bats are awake. Now the pitch. This team has to put it together. To your point, I also think it should be noted, the Rays are playing well right now too. 7-3 in their last 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're an enigma to me as a franchise. Forget this year, just in general.
They're always like, shouldn't be anything. And they overperform.
How do they do this, bro?
You can never count it out.
Their fans don't even go to games.
Yeah, I don't blame
it's mind-boggling to me that every year in, year out, there's no expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you look up right now, they're at the top of the wild card standings. Like, it's just every year with this team. Now, look, the benefit of that is their fans who don't even go to games, they're not on an emotional roller coaster. It is pretty consistently average every year.
Yeah.
Red Sox, meanwhile, we're like the rock star. Some nights are bad, some nights we are electric, right? So I think the Sox right now, you just got to lock in what we're talking about. Fix everything that was killing you all season.
Yeah.
And go out and be a rock star. Don't go out and have a dud, because you're playing against just a steady, very average team.
Yeah.
You go out and you have to rise your level above that. I think they will.
It's like a Shane Baz who will get the game 1 start.
Yes.
5 ERA, but 4-1 over his last 5. Brian Bayo, 5.7 ERA over his last 5 starts. And this is also a Tampa Bay team playing in a minor league ballpark, too. Like, I'm interested in how many runs we're going to see scored. Hey, but perfect time for the Red Sox bats to catch fire. Continue to build up the confidence. Go shell at George Steinbrenner Field, the minor league field that the Yankees are letting the Rays use.
Yeah.
And then bring it back to Fenway. Familiar territory, taking on the Yankees at a familiar opponent. Like, this could be a catapult type to get off to a hot start in June. Jarren Duran, bats waking up, hitting 300. Now, it's, again, 7 games, but hitting 300, OPS at 9. Over the course of this season, 5 extra base hits and 35 plate appearances, just 9 strikeouts, reaching base 12 times. That's what we need from your leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Can they make it happen all throughout? Carlos Narvaez has been fantastic the last 15 games. What a gem they found in him, trading for him from the Yankees this past offseason. Can it be consistent from the Red Sox?
Before we get out of this segment, did you see the moonshot that Roman Anthony hit this weekend, George?
497 feet, grand slam.
I mean, brother.
I don't know how much longer he could do it in Worcester, man.
Brother.
I need to see it at Fenway.
That ball ain't landed yet! He smashed that out of Polar Park. To the moon.
He looks the part, man. He
Just
looks
saying.
the part.
Hey, email us at chat@nesson.com. Tweet at us using the hashtag NessonChat as well. Hit us up, 617-790-0928. Do you believe that this Red Sox team has turned it around? I do. George likes what he's seeing, but he needs a larger sample size. I believe that was a direct quote. He just wants to see it a little bit more, don't we all? We want to hear from you on that. Also, I'm going to throw this out there because he did hit the shot to space. Roman Anthony, can we talk about it? 500 feet damn near? Please get involved with us. We'll have more of Boston Has Entered the Chat next. Don't go anywhere. Roll with us. We'll be right back. We have a great show planned for you. And remember, catch us on Nesson 8 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. right here on Nesson Nation. We'll be right back. Yes. Good morning and welcome back to Boston Has Entered the Chat. Travis, Thomas, George Balekji. And we're just talking like we always do every show about every single superstar in the Celtics getting traded. Rumor mill-wise, that is. Jaylen Brown, the latest. Did you see this tweet from Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated reporting, allegedly, that the Spurs are interested and could be a possible landing spot for Jaylen Brown? Quote, the team I'd watch the closest with Jaylen Brown is probably the Spurs. Sure, I think the Spurs would love to make a run at Giannis, but do the Bucks ask for Stephon Castle? Like, is that on their wish list? And if it is, I can't see San Antonio doing a deal like that. What? And of course, Celtics fans got involved because, duh, Swiss Street is absolutely right, tweeting, "You don't think the C's would ask for Castle, bruh?" I mean, he's right. Castle played here in UConn and be coming back home for him. There isn't one person on the Spurs that is worth Jaylen Brown besides you-know-who. This from Dr. Ernie. Yeah, that you-know-who is Wemby, and that ain't happening, which we all understand. Boy, wouldn't that be special, though, Wemby in a Celtics uni. One can dream. But of course they're going to ask for Stephon Castle. If you're the Celtics or any other damn team.
Yeah, good point guard, good defender.
Yeah, what do you want? Harrison Barnes? Is that enticing? Not no, but hail to the no. Of course you're going to ask for Stephon Castle and any other young talent the Spurs have outside of you-know-who.
I think there'd be four main names. Stephon Castle, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sochan, and Devin Vassell.
Cool.
And the second overall pick.
Yes.
If the Celtics were to trade Jaylen Brown to the Spurs. That'd be a return of getting a young core back, getting good shooters, players that are big wings too, which fit Joe Mazzulla's system. Castle would have to come along in shooting. And then with that second overall pick, that's a Ace Bailey, or that's a Harper out of Rutgers, or maybe a different prospect that they think highly of. Maybe they flip the second, go further back.
I was going to say,
I'm not
maybe.
going to get too minutia on it. This is also a situation where if the Celtics can move up in the draft, get a second overall pick, they can offload their future firsts, and then I think that's when you get the Nets into the picture and offload, say, a Kristaps Porzingis, maybe a Sam Hauser, to get well under that tax threshold and start. But I also think if you're going second overall pick and core of players, I would go with the Jaylen Brown and a Sam Hauser, maybe a Jaylen Brown and a Peyton Pritchard, maybe a Jaylen Brown and a Derek White possibly. I haven't seen how those numbers work with the Spurs, but you want players in return. You can make this roster a lot younger, get well under both the first and second apron for the Celtics. This is a trade that makes sense, but again, Jaylen Brown's an elite wing. He's a top 20 player when healthy. He's coming off that partially torn meniscus. We'll see what he does in the offseason to recover. And him and Jason Tatum will both be under 30 years old when Tatum is fully back from the torn Achilles. This would have to be the perfect package. And for the Celtics, it's more than who they get in return. It's who they can get rid of with a third team coming into the picture to get them under that second.
You always talk third team. I remember pitching to you a Jaylen Brown for Giannis type situation with Milwaukee. And you said, well, it's not, inconceivable that it couldn't happen, but you would likely need a third team to get involved. As you sort of look at these rumors that we're talking now with Jaylen Brown to the Spurs. By the way, it should be noted on the Spurs side of things, because we're giving away all their young talent in this trade. But the trade-off here is your big three is Chris Paul, the veteran, who doesn't really do well with pressure. Like, the more veteran, superstars you can have around him, the better. Because when it's on his back, we see what happens. He chokes. Yeah. But you would have Chris Paul, conceivably, you would have Chris Paul, Jaylen Brown, who knows how to win a title. De'Aaron Fox, and Wemby, who we believe is that next thing, right? He's ready for the next level. That's a pretty damn good roster for the Spurs, and then you can figure it out. So what? You give away your young talent. Listen to that. In this case, I guess, big four, right? So it kind of makes sense. But do you see a three-team involved with maybe there's still a world in which the Spurs get a Jaylen Brown? Maybe it's a third team getting involved with Celtics and the Spurs to make it happen. Do you see that? And what team would that be? What would that even look like?
All signs point to Brooklyn because they're the only team that really has a cap space to take on one of those contracts you can eat. It's also, too, but think about the Spurs on this side. They still have to extend De'Aaron Fox, who they traded for. They still need to pay Wemby. He's on his rookie deal, but eventually they're going to have to pay him. You bring on a Jaylen Brown, $54 million this year. He'll approach 60 eventually and get north of that number. Then the Spurs have to come in and hit reset as well.
Right.
And that's why I think of, the Celtics talk of even, say, Giannis coming to Boston, right? Let's go with that hypothetical.
Okay.
This is a Celtics team that has to hit reset now. And they're going to do so. If they bring in Giannis, there's 2 years left on his deal. 1 year when Tatum is back healthy from the Achilles.
Okay.
And then he's going to get paid again.
Yeah.
Sure, he'll be 32, 33 at that point. He's going to get paid again. For the Celtics, I think all signs point to them hitting reset now. You want to do it now. You don't want to do it down the road. I'm always a proponent of hit reset, pick a lane sooner rather than later.
Waiting too long.
Because everyone's going to be doing it now. And then by the time you're doing it, everyone's caught up. They're settled in this new CBA, new second apron. I think the Celtics have to do it now. This is an avenue towards doing that because you offload the supermax that is Jaylen Brown. Yes, you get 2 or 3 contracts in return, and then you have that second overall pick. But if they also offload Kristaps Porzingis to Brooklyn, send some draft picks that way, all of a sudden they go from where they're $20 million over the second apron to you're taking $84 million off the books. It equals out a little bit. It makes sense. And again, the players they get back, young, big wings, skilled offensive players.
I like all those guys. But Castle's involved in that. Like, let's be clear.
Yeah, I mean, if he is what makes or breaks this trade and it truly makes sense, and you get a second overall pick, Stephon Castle, let's say, because I didn't put a Devin Vassell in my deal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, if the Celtics are all in on this and they want to make it happen, I wouldn't kill myself and kill the trade because of a Stephon Castle, especially if it makes sense on the books. Again, though, like the Spurs have to be up for it. I mean, Jaylen Brown carries a very heavy paycheck with him.
Sure.
And just as the Celtics are trying to get under, the Spurs know what they have with Wemby is special, but they know he's going to get paid eventually. And the Spurs can sit back and look, like, you're talking about it has to be a Stephon Castle, right? He has to be there.
I think so.
And he's a good player.
Yes.
Cool. Keldon Johnson's a good player.
He is.
Devin Vassell's a good player.
He is.
Then you add an Ace Bailey. You have all these young guys that are cheap around Wemby, who if he plays a full season, will be a top 5 player in this league.
Sure, yeah.
And then you extended De'Aaron Fox. And instead of being in the Celtic situation where you have to blow everything up and tear it all down, they're now in a spot where the Celtics envy to be.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense from a business standpoint. I wonder, too, from the Spurs, is this, and these are just rumors, by the way. None of this is concrete. But if these rumors are true, is this something where they're maybe concerned with Wemby's future? Because you know what he was dealing with is heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a situation where, we do have a De'Aaron Fox here. We have some young talent. Let's get another bona fide superstar in here now, just in case something goes south with Wemby and we can't count on him. We have guys we can still win. We can still be sustainable.
Yeah.
But best case scenario, which we're all assuming, Wemby's fine, and we have an all-star team around him. So I get the Spurs angle. There's another, and I've told you this from the beginning, there's another team in Texas that I think should get involved with Jaylen Brown. It ain't the Spurs. It's the Rockets. And it's our old friend, Ime Udoka. If I'm the Rockets and I'm Ime, I've already made the call to Boston and say, hey, remember me? Yeah, I know it didn't work out, but I want Jaylen Brown. Because they have young talent to give up, too. This will be fascinating to watch all summer. Gut feel on this, final thoughts here before we go to break. There are other pieces to trade on the Celtics roster that we're all anticipating is going to happen anyways. In the end, I don't think Jaylen Brown goes anywhere.
Same.
Gut feel.
I think
agree?
The Drew Holiday still carries value for a championship team.
Yes.
Kristaps Porzingis is going to go. You're going to have to send draft picks. But when you look at a Sam Hauser and you look at Peyton Pritchard, 6th man of the year, can be a starting player on a championship team.
Boy.
And the value of his contract as well.
Yeah.
Those are the moves that are being made. Hauser, Pritchard, Porzingis, Holiday. Maybe even a Derek White if the return can be ridiculous. But I don't think Jaylen Brown goes. And also, I don't want to trade a Jaylen Brown.
Sure.
Because what you get with these young guys, you hope one day they can become a top 20 player. Jaylen Brown is top 20, top 15. He showed up in the postseason. He's won championships, that experience. He wants to be a leader. He is a leader. That's what you want when you draft guys, when you sign these young guys, when you trade for them. Again, what's a prospect and what's a proven commodity? Jaylen Brown is proven.
Amen, my brother. Still to come here on Boston has entered the chat. We're a show for the people, so we hear from you in the mailbag next. And remember, get the latest up-to-date live. We've got Boston sports headlines along with your daily dose of trending sports and social topics every weekday on Boston has entered the chat. Catch us live at 8 a.m. on Nesson and 9 a.m. on Nesson Nation every Monday through Friday. Welcome back to Boston has entered the chat. The best thing about this show is we are interactive. We care. We like sneak into your group chats that you have with all your friends. You see us just weasel.
Evasive.
What is this maneuver?
Shouted a bunch of, is he an angry Armenian? And then he left? Yeah, that was me in the group chat.
We get into your group chat, we infiltrate, and then we bring it to the show and we talk about it. So we're all one big happy family here. We always tell you, email us at chat@nesson.com. Tweet at us using the hashtag NessonChat. Call us 617-790-3776. 0928. We've already played a voicemail in this very program and partied with Jimmy in the car. So with that being said, we decided, you know what? We get a lot of comments on all these platforms that we're on. Let's have a mailbag segment where we hear from you and we talk about it. So what do we got, George?
I mean, so it's good Instagram comments. Hey, throw us a follow. Nesson on Instagram, George Balekji on Instagram, Travis Thomas Experience. Here was a comment about Jaylen Brown. Now, here's a quote he said. You're going to be a big part of this. Just keep going. If you ever need to talk, I got your back. I want you to play fearless. That was Jaylen Brown on the advice he's been giving the rookies, and now he's been a leader for them, the rookies on the Red Sox. Here's a comment from M. Carrion5. He's the only, quote, leader they have on this team. Unfortunately, I think he gets traded at the deadline. I really don't think Jaylen Brown gets traded. I mean, this is a guy that is young, still in his arbitration years, is a 5-tool player. And how we've seen him pick up. Again, I said as June rolled around, hey, watch it now. This is when Jaylen Brown picks up. Out of his 35 plate appearances, he's reached base 12 times, only struck out 9, has extra base hits, batting .300, small sample size. June just began. But what he does defensively, he could be a great defensive center fielder, not just a great defensive. He's a great defensive outfielder.
Yes.
Good bat and lead off in your lineup. Lethal when he's on the bags with his speed. Good arm, good leader, and one of the more mature guys in the clubhouse. Alex Bregman, healthy or not. He's approaching 29 years old. He's been through the fire that some of these rookies are dealing with right now, like a Christian Campbell struggling at the plate and defensively. That's the type of stuff. And he says this publicly. These aren't reports coming out. This is him talking to the media. You know, the same thing is said behind closed doors with these young players, these young stars for the Sox. His value's on the field, his value's off the field. I don't think he gets dealt. Now, if he continues to hit well, obviously he will increase his price. But again, remember the trade rumors that came out about Jaylen Brown, that was the Padres inquiring about him again, a team that wanted him in 2024. It's not the Red Sox are looking to. There were no reports of that. It was the Padres are inquiring about trading for Jaylen Brown. I think the Red Sox know the value they have with him. It's his contract. It's what he does on the field. And then off the field, what he means to this clubhouse. Serious about long-term success, sustainable, high-level play of baseball, Jaylen Brown's part of that equation.
Man, you gave me a lot to unpack there. I agree with pretty much everything you said. And I also think we need to be careful with how, and when I say we, all of us, with how we define leadership. To suggest he's the only leader on this team is just flat out wrong. It's just wrong. Alex Bregman's a leader. Hey, there's different ways to lead. Garrett Crochet is leading by example, my friend. He is shoving when he's not getting run support half the season. Now we're seeing it, but this guy quietly goes about his work. That's leadership. So I think you got to be careful with Jaylen Brown's the only leader. That's not true. The other part that you said that stood out to me is not wanting to trade him. I think all of us agree with that. But we have to be cognizant of where will this team be by the trade deadline, George, which I believe is the end of July, July 31st. So if you get to that point, you're out of contention and you're selling off pieces, I can wrap my head around it more than if you're not and you're playing well, which they are right now. So it's probably not an appropriate conversation to have today when you take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees and the Bronx, right? But let's just say by July 31st they're out of it and they're selling off pieces. I know the Padres are in love with the guy. They have been for a couple years. But they don't have enough in their farm system for me to get involved. I'm sorry. If I'm trading this dude, a leader, 5-tool player, everything you laid out, I have got to raid your farm system, okay? And that's telling all of us that this is a reset. We're going youth movement here. We have Meyer already up. We're bringing Anthony up. We're looking to the future. Then if I'm trading in Jaylen Brown, I'm going to need all your damn prospects. And I don't know if any team's willing to do that.
Or you need major league players. But again, I'm not trading Jaylen Brown.
I'm not either.
On the field, what he does, but off the field and in that clubhouse. And you're right, like Bregman's a leader, Crochet's a leader. Bregman's not healthy right now. Yes, he's in the dugout, but that's a guy that's on the field. And again, he's really young. And in everything we talk about building teams, what makes sense for front office, payroll, all that, the cost control that he's under. He's making $3.8 million this year.
Sure.
By the time he's through arbitration and going to get paid, he might cost another $15 million at most. With as they're extending these young guys and as they are paying for other guys like a Bregman and Crochet, Duran makes sense. Some more comments from Instagram. Brandino, I love this guy even more. Extend him.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm with that.
Mila Uding, I might have mispronounced that. King of Boston, TBH, King of Boston, to be honest. Agree. And then D, Plysenko. Durant is an incredible leader. Vulnerable, compassionate, honest. Hope he's a Sox for life. Last one, Yulon for 131. Put a C on Durant's jersey, make him a Red Sox for life.
Bro, who is the king of Boston right now, sports-wise?
Tatum.
Tatum?
Drake May.
Okay, let me rephrase. Who's healthy right now as a king of Boston sports?
Drake May.
I don't know. I feel like he's a prince. It's a two premature. He's a fresh
quarterback.
He's a fresh prince of Boston. I don't know.
So if you're going with who's healthy, I don't know.
King right now, healthy. Can I say Garrett Crochet? I mean, bro, he showed up. He's got the look. He looks like a Viking, bro.
Yeah, could be him.
It could be him. Pasta?
Could be him. When these teams like the Red Sox are from the outside looking in on the postseason right now, Bruins not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
If all four major pro sports teams are not in the playoffs, no one's a king. That's a standard in Boston. You feel me?
Yeah, I do. Jaylen Brown's not healthy technically, so we can't say Jaylen Brown.
If you go non-healthy, it's still Tatum. And if you're going healthy, I think it's Drake May if they make the playoffs. But if Durant's a guy that is the reason they turn it around, it could be him.
It could be him, bro, because he's a vocal leader. He's got some juice to his game. I don't hate it. This should be like a poll question or something.
He's not even 29. I like that idea. Let's throw it up on a poll, put that on X, Twitter, whatever you call it. So let's pivot to, here's some comments we got on Terry McLaurin.
Okay.
Patriots looking at him. On Instagram, Christopher Amnot left. I won't let that happen.
Won't let what happen?
The Patriots trade for Terry McLaurin.
Why not?
Sounds like a Commander Stan made his way onto our page, which, hey,
I got you.
DC entering the chat.
All right.
Here's from Bo HTTR. Terry staying in DC.
Oh, yeah. HTTR says it all.
Oh, yeah. Hail to the.
Yeah,
yep, you're right. That's a good call.
Yep.
Hey, if Commanders fans are this adamant on Terry McLaurin,
they love him.
Staying there,
yeah,
that shows what the value he is.
Well,
and that shows why the Patriots should trade for him.
It's not the fans, bro. They got to open up the pocketbook and pay, homie. That's what it is. It's a franchise.
Here's D. Craig, 32. Crazy he's another guy we should have just drafted in the first place over N'Keal. N'Keal Harry is a first-round pick.
Not wrong.
Terry McLaurin was a third-round pick.
Not wrong.
So the Patriots passed on him twice. Terry McLaurin was taken the pick before the Patriots drafted Chase Winovich in the third round. Now, let's be real, though.
Lord have mercy.
If Terry McLaurin fell to the Patriots at that pick,
Lord have mercy,
they're not taking him.
They wouldn't take him any damn
They're still
way.
taking Chase Winovich.
Oh, Belichick's drafts, bro. I don't even smoke. And just looking back at Belichick's drafts, I want to smoke a pack of Newports.
Ben Affleck.
Every time.
Outside.
What was he doing, especially at wide receiver? What? He's a genius. He's the GOAT.
Exhale it.
Love him. Don't like Jordan Hudson. But I love Bill. But damn it, man. You can't pick no wide receivers ever?
I don't love Bill. Good coach.
Good coach?
Weird.
Relax. You're being, this is
great coach.
What's in that cup?
Weird humor.
Great coach, as in greatest of all time.
It's water this time.
Let's show some respect.
Here's from Mally Mal.
Mally!
LMAO, 3 O's. DC will literally never trade Terry.
Better
pay him.
Before.
Better pay him.
Yeah, they'll trade him, all right. They'll trade anybody.
From Partial Print. If we can get him for Polk in the third rounder, do it. 100%.
Polk? I give up Boutte in a third rounder.
I would give up Boutte, Polk, and a third rounder.
I give up Kendrick Bourne.
I would go one step closer. I'd give up a second for Terry McLaurin.
Well, I'm a habitual line stepper. I give up every single wide receiver not named Stephon Diggs and Pop Douglas.
And Kyle Williams.
And Kyle Williams.
Yes.
For Terry McLaurin.
Just give them a brain. Here are all these darts.
Take the room.
If we can't figure out what stakes, you figure it out. Here's a YouTube comment we got to. Check us out on YouTube always as well. Aaron Delisle, 7693. They hired Josh McDaniels to save the offense.
Facts.
There's plenty of talent there to work with.
Well, I don't know about plenty. I mean, there's...
The first part is true.
Yes.
They hired Josh McDaniels to save that offense. 100%.
Yes. Let's talk about the talent there.
There's plenty of talent in that room. Where?
Let's talk about it.
Who?
Let's do it.
Kyle Williams is a rookie. Stephon Diggs is passing out alleged drugs on the boat.
Yeah, but they're talent.
Pop Douglas is an undersized slot.
Don't do this.
No, I am.
These are the talent.
Where's the talent?
They're not saying perfect, George.
There's plenty of talent in that room to work with. There isn't enough.
There's not enough.
You
okay,
need
let's
an
stay here.
actual bona fide NFL professional wide receiver.
Stay here.
So
Drake,
I'm not buying that at all.
Drake, Stephon Diggs.
We're
We
talking
like
wide
Pop.
receivers. Yes.
No, they didn't say wide
Pop
receivers.
Douglas.
They said talent in the room. All right, so Pop Douglas we like. Kyle
Matt
Williams,
Collins?
I'll give you, but he's a rookie.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Matt Collins?
Stop doing
Exactly.
this. Stop.
Okay.
No, we're saying talent.
Jalen Polk?
No.
Okay. Javon Baker?
No.
Okay.
I have 4 right now. Drake, Kyle Williams, which I'm giving you, Stephon Diggs, Pop Douglas. I mean, are we throwing the running backs in this?
Hold on. So I want to
Henry?
go, but we're talking wide receivers here, and that's why you trade for Terry McLaurin. So take Drake May off of that. You can name 3 talented wide receivers. One of those is a rookie that has yet to play an NFL snap.
Right.
The other one is a good gadget type player, twitchy slot, Pop Douglas.
Yeah.
And then there's Stephon Diggs, where you just don't know if he's going to make it through the season, if he can lock in on football.
Right.
And that right there, Aaron DeLee 7693. Appreciate the comment. You're not wrong about Josh McDaniels being there to save the offense, but don't tell me there's plenty of talent to work with. There isn't enough. And in the NFL, you ask any front office, the more draft picks, the better. Because it is hard drafting. It is hard evaluating who can translate from the college level to the NFL level. We've seen the Eagles go up 1 spot or trade back, accrue more picks. We've seen the 49ers, the Chiefs, all do that same thing. The more picks, the better. That's what some of the best front offices in football feel.
Yeah.
You can't tell me there's enough to work with. If you bring in a Terry McLaurin, then him and Stephon Diggs are proven veteran multi-season receivers. You trade for him. He's 30. He won't cost you too much, but he would be the best receiver in the room instantly. And he would be one of the best wide receivers in the division. Tyreek Hill's getting washed up. Garrett Wilson's fantastic. Jalen Waddle, I don't know what you get with him. He'd be the best receiver on the Bills. He'd be the best receiver on the Dolphins. He'd be the second best receiver on the Jets. Let's be real when you look at it. The Patriots would need him.
We're interactive. Get with us. We always talk with you, not at you. And thanks for watching. We appreciate you rolling with us here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Nessa Nation, we're coming to you, baby. Remember, get the latest up-to-date live. We've got Boston sports headlines, along with your daily dose of trending sports and social topics every weekday right here. Catch us at 8 a.m. on Nessa and 9 a.m. on Nessa Nation.